Dude, I just want to start with Treylon Burks and what he's been to the University of Arkansas. When you look at other recruits that are thinking about potentially landing in Fayetteville, i.e. Jaden Hazelwood, what recruiting impact do you think Burks had on this football team?
Oh, definitely. It was a big impact because a lot of times when I talk to receivers that was considered Arkansas, they would talk about Burks and what kind of impact that he had in his ability to in Coach Browse's offense to shine. And you go back to the Darren McFadden days. I mean, that Darren really got a lot of attention from the running back prospects, not only from the years that he was playing at Arkansas, but even afterwards, kids would mention him. You're seeing the same thing with Treylon, that receivers are not only just right now, but receivers in the future classes, 23, 24, 25, and 26, they'll talk about Treylon Burks and the impact that he had at Arkansas and how he did and how well he did and how that kind of inspired them to take a look at Arkansas.
I know there's a couple names that I'm going to bring up with you, but the first I want to start with is a Louisiana cornerback. And big news, their longtime defensive back coach, I think he's been working under Miles Ogeron, and he is now moving on to Florida to work under Coach Billy Napier. I can't think of his name, but LaTerrence Welch, he's currently committed to the Tigers. Richard, what are the odds that this kid decides to flip to the University of Arkansas, four-star cornerback?
Well, I think that definitely increased him. He obviously made an official visit to Arkansas over the weekend. That was very promising. Everything went well there. The Sam Carter factor is huge there. That relationship's been strong for really about 2 years. So right now, I'd say Arkansas is in really good shape. The only thing that you might be concerned about now, will Florida try to get him to make an official visit to Arkansas? Make an official visit because of that relationship that he had with the LSU cornerback coach. That's something to keep an eye on. But right now, I would say Arkansas is in very good shape.
Yeah. Richard, it would be uncommon to think there would be no staff movement in this day and time. Arkansas's had annual movement with assistant coaches, but we've heard of none. We're less than a week from the early signing period beginning. Do you think it's going to become commonplace, or do you think we'll see anything between now and then, or will it all occur after the signing period is come and gone next week?
That's a good question. I don't have a strong answer on that.
Your opinion, then?
Yeah, my opinion is if there is any movement, it would be after the early signing period, or maybe even after the February signing period. So that's usually when it happens. But that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe we're moving into a day and time where there's I'd say gentleman's agreement or an understanding that, hey, this coach is going to go over to this other school with a connection or a friend or someone he's coached with before, but we're going to wait and announce that after we get everybody signed. I would not be surprised to see a flurry of movement around college football after the early signing period is complete next week.
It'd be naive to think that they're sort of the coaches that are on the staff now aren't going to be contacted about other jobs, and and I think Coach Pittman kind of hit on that as far as his representation. That his representation also, in large part, was about his staff, and so we'll see. I mean, Arkansas can pay very well. Other schools may. I think with Hunter, he's shown that he's willing to open up the book. The pocketbook for assistant coaches, maybe a little bit more than
who is on the staff or who's not on the staff.
Yep.
Richard Davenport talking a little recruiting with us here on the Morning Rush. RD, looking ahead to next week, I know that you've already – all right, so basketball, is it 4 of the 5 guys that have signed, or is it all of them? I'm trying to – is Nick the only one that hasn't signed, or am I off on that?
No, everybody
said Nick
I couldn't remember if it was all of them. So looking ahead to next week, RD – who do you know that's going to initially sign during this early sign period, or who has indicated to you via themselves or their family that they are going to officially sign on the dotted line with this Arkansas football team next week?
All but one.
Who's that one?
Let's just see. Let's just see how this works out. I really don't want to say right now. I'll just say that maybe one may not sign on Wednesday, but obviously the possibility on Thursday or Friday is a possibility.
It has changed a lot, and I know that Tommy and I have spoken to this with all these coaching searches moving. A lot of the reasons you've seen so much movement as of late is because early signing period's coming up in less than a week. Yeah. I mean, you've got to get ready. Exactly.
One or the other.
You've got to get ready for what's to come. And I wonder, on your perspective, we were kicking this around earlier, Richard. We're both SEC guys. This is more the terrain and the track record that we have. You a lot longer than myself. Eugene, Oregon, Autzen Stadium out there in the Pac-12. Mario Cristobal leaves that job to go to Miami. We were talking about a Lane Kiffin connection. How polar, when you talk to recruits either here in Arkansas, Texas, wherever, how often does Oregon get brought up as a potential player for them potentially being an Oregon Dunker? Is it really not mentioned that much here in the South?
No. Oregon is mentioned quite often. That Nike brand is very strong with facilities, and Oregon are very, very nice. I was when the opening was at Nike headquarters. One year, I was able to go and do a tour of the Oregon facilities, and they were pretty incredible. There's no doubt about that. And that their brand of the uniforms, and just Nike itself, is very strong. Obviously, Oregon has to recruit nationally because we're not a hotbed for college football prospects. But I think with with Coach going from Oregon to Miami, he's thinking, man, I can just drive around 30, 40 miles from campus and recruit all I want, versus having to get on a plane and go across the country.
I wonder if you paid attention at all to the NIL stuff going on in Austin, Texas. Quinn Ewers is reportedly, I think this is from Rivals, from Jeff Ketchum, reportedly going to potentially get first-round money from Texas boosters and certain businesses, and I know they're doing that charity thing for offensive linemen. Richard, from your perspective, how does Sam Pittman, how does Hunter Yurchek, and how does this football program compete with money like that's being offered down there in Austin?
Well, that's the dilemma. That's going forward, and that's you're going to have to be creative. You're going to have to be on the cutting edge of all this and trying to make sure that you're not left behind. And I'm sure that they're going to do as good a job as they possibly can do. It's a kind of a wild west right now until there's some rules in place. Now, I don't know what rules would be in place, because you kind of get into the situation where you're kind of squashing the free market, not allowing the kids to get the maximum dollar out of their talent. So right now, obviously, when you see something like that, I would be concerned. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Richard, good stuff as always, man. I appreciate you recapping that. I know Treylon Burks has been the big news of the day, and I thought you just kind of set it up and his impact. You did it perfectly this morning, as you often do, my man.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk to you next week. Richard Davenport with us, Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush.
Has you covered for all the holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all sports action. Head to our new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with the promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all these amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports.